not a politician. I'm not knowledgeable enough about all the intricacies that come along with politics.
Trump wasn't a politician either.
They will ramp up the rhetoric. They will ramp up the lies. They will ramp up the class warfare. They'll ramp up that guy's a Nazi and he's a racist and everything else. And at the end, you will get nominee AOC or nominee Jasmine Crockett or perhaps nominee Stephen A. Smith.
Do I believe that if I committed myself to knowing politics the way you and others know it, do I believe I could win a Democratic nomination? Hell yes. Particularly the state of affairs that exists, I think it would be a cakewalk. I think I'd take them all out. I really, really believe that. I really think I could take them. And maybe in 3 years from now, I'll feel a bit differently. I just can't imagine that's not going to happen. I'm not a politician. I'm not knowledgeable enough about all the intricacies that come along with politics.
Trump wasn't a politician either.
Like yourself. So yeah, I watch people like yourself and others on both sides of the aisle. I read, I pay attention, but I'm no aficionado. But it's just so bad on the left right now. And I tell you, I do believe that I'd be a formidable candidate because I know how to debate. I would look forward to going up against folks on the right and the left. And I would be about common sense. And I would be about, you know what? We're not going to sit up there and look at, I don't care if it's Trump, I don't care if it's Vice President Vance, I don't care if it's Rubio, I don't care if it's Hegseth, I don't care who the hell it is, I don't care if it's Megyn Kelly. Damn it, if you're right, you're right. What's the crime in saying, that's a good point? I got to think about that. You got a good point.
That would be
there.
so disarming.
I would demand that you do the same in return if we're going up against.
So your move, Democrats. Now, Stephen A. Did just sign a $100 million deal with ESPN, so I have a feeling he has better things to do than run for president of the United States. But everything he said there is right. You guys are all insane. You never know when to concede a point. And you know, he's being, you can either argue he's sort of bragging or being humble in some sense, or it's like a humble brag when he's like, well, I'm not a career politician and I'm not an aficionado of these things. It's like he knows more. You think AOC is an aficionado of politics? Do you think any of these people are, does Jasmine Crockett strike you as you know, the Ben Franklin of politics? Like, obviously not. So the point is that this is what they've been left with. And is it possible? I would prefer, you know, my preference, I would prefer that Stephen A. continue to be a voice of reason and ultimately maybe vote for Republicans, because why not support JD if it's going to be JD or the broad tent right now that's doing so many of the things that he seems to agree with, because he sat in this very studio and I couldn't get him to say much of what he doesn't like about the Republicans. But the point is, he's right. And would he be a far better candidate? Would Bill Maher be a far better candidate? Would I be a far better candidate? Would Joe Rogan be a far better candidate? People who are all Dems, some of Bill still is a Dem. Would any of these people be far better than what the Democrats are offering? The answer is obviously yes.